course, the chairman of Magna Publications, Mr. Nari Hira, Talian Klevi, please. And the editor, Ipshita of Star Week, Talian Klevi, please. Okay, before you sit down, John, I know I have to make you sit down and stuff like that, but if you press that remote, you'll be in a Star Wars ship and this will come down and you'll unveil the magazine cover.
You know this? Should I stand here and do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sir, इधर देख के दबाना.
Yeah.
Sir, camera angle के साथ ना, John. I hope you're pressing the right buttons, huh?
Are you facing it that way?
This way. Oh! Like the smile, John. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's had 200 crore hits, John Abraham, the man with the Midas studs. Okay, can I request the girl with the red lipstick to give all of us the magazines? The lipstick notice करता Ali and KB. We always like to see pretty girls in the morning. I think that one. What is the golden one? The golden one is? The unveiling of John's.
John right. John sir. Sir left side. Sir यहाँ पे.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
हाँ English. अरे मेरा लाइव जा रहा है. लाइव जा रहा है. Live है.
Sir, so you can talk about the mic.
Usually the mic doesn't work.
Check.
Hello, let's read. Hello.
You don't want the mic. You want to talk. You need the mics? No. क्या बात है? क्या solid rock है यार.
Close the door, Dominic.
Mr. Hira, you got the man, the machine.
He's an
hunk.
old friend. Not a machine to me.
Yeah, no
So
machine.
you've
He's a
known John
nice
for a long
human.
time, huh?
Yes, very long time.
Was he always this good, humble boy? Or?
Always. Nice guy.
Oh, undoubtedly. Okay, John, you're known as the eternal nice guy all the time. What's the most naughtiest thing you've ever done? Come on. This is only being heard between you and me. No one else is going to hear this conversation.
I've ridden. Yeah, I think it's. I've ridden bikes.
With whom, my friend at the back, is what we want to know.
Well, we do a lot of naughty things, but I think it's nice. Sometimes it's good to be bad.
It's good to be bad, huh?
Yeah, it's good to be bad. Look at the kind of films I'm kind of doing now. Post Aimi or Mesh, Shootout at Badala, Madras Cafe. They all have an element of negativity to them, and the characters, and it's fun.
So, the most important question: who's been your best bike rider sitting behind you while you've been riding the bikes?
I ride alone most of the time. I ride alone for the simple reason I've had a horrific accident once, so I just choose to ride alone. It's easier to ride alone, and I don't think Bombay is the safest place to ride a motorcycle.
Okay, any questions from there?
Okay, from the audience.
Yes?
Don't feel shy, we don't charge per question.
John, tell us a little more about your movie. I mean, I'm your man. We see you with Chitrangada and Prachi.
Right.
I guess there are other girls also whom you're romancing in the movie. So tell us more about the movie.
Well, the other women I'm romancing are my mother and my sister, and my boss was a woman. And I think when I read Aimi or Main, just to give you a little backdrop, I did the film only because I thought it related a lot to women. Women could relate to this film very easily. Every man and every woman's life is very much like Ishan, my character. So when I thought as an actor, I said, listen, I want to do a film that's very niche, that's very big city. At the same time, as a producer, when I thought that a film like this needs to be done, because when you do a film, you think as a producer as well, I said it needed to be made in a very tight budget. So I made the film small. I'm not apologetic about the film being small, because when you need to have a large film like a Race 2 or a Houseful 2 or a Desi Boys, or even Force was a far larger film. You decide to make a large film, but when you want to do a small film, you make it small and you appeal to your target audience, and that's what I did with I'm Your Man. Shootout at Badala, for example, is a massive film, but I'm Your Man is a sweet small film, and I'm proud to make a small film, and I'm proud to reach out to a certain audience that I believe needs to see this film.
As a producer, you started doing with small films, and Vicky Donor was also a small film.
Right.
I think you're a part producer of this movie.
Yeah, I think my next production after Vicky Donor is a film called Madras Cafe, which is a J Entertainment project with Rising Suns. And, and I'm saying this first to you, but I remember my studio saw this film day before yesterday, rushes of the film. And the only thing they said was, thanks for giving us the opportunity to support this film, because this is like the Argo of India. So in my space, I wanted to make a political statement. I wanted to make a statement that carries a lot of weight, and I'm very proud of Madras Cafe. It's releasing on the 30th of August, but I know the effect and the impact the film will have from today.
Okay, which kind of film it is? If you can tell us something about it. The Hindi version.
मद्रास कैफे मैं ये नहीं कहना चाहता हूँ कि एक पॉलिटिकल थ्रिलर है, लेकिन एक एक्शन थ्रिलर है ये फिल्म, और इसमें मैं एक सोल्जर हूँ जो फाइनली रॉ में दाखिल हो जाता है, एंड द सोल्जर्स टेकन डाउन टू जाफना. उसके बाद हाउ थिंग्स अनफोल्ड इन हिज लाइफ, जैसे वो पर्सनल और प्रोफेशन के बीच में वो कैसे बैलेंस करता है अपने आप को. सो आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग प्रमाइस, इंटरेस्टिंग प्लॉट. मेरे हिसाब से मद्रास कैफे एक बहुत ही इंटरनेशनल फिल्म है, और शायद हिंदुस्तान में मेरे हिसाब से आई ऑल्सो फील इट्स अ फिल्म दैट इंडिया कैन प्राउडली शोकेस एंड से हम वैसी भी फिल्म बनाते हैं, क्योंकि अक्सर ऐसे होता है कि हमारी जो फिल्म्स हैं, वी आर वेरी प्राउड ऑफ इट. आई एन्जॉय माई फिल्म्स, आई एन्जॉय फिल्म्स लाइक गोलमाल 3, आई एन्जॉय हाउसफुल 2, बिकॉज इट मेक यू लाफ, इट्स फन, इट्स ईजी, एंड इट्स ग्रेट टू हैव फिल्म्स लाइक दैट. लेकिन अक्सर क्या होता है कि हम लोग जब भी बाहर जाते हैं, हमारी जो फिल्म है वो टाइपकास्ट हो जाती है कि ये बॉलीवुड फिल्म है, एक कैरिकेचर बन जाती है. तो मेरी कोशिश यही थी मद्रास कैफे के साथ कि मैं उस कैरिकेचर को तोड़ूं, एंड आई क्रिएट अ फिल्म दैट आई गो टू द वेस्ट एंड आई से, लिसन, दिस फिल्म इज एज गुड इफ नॉट बेटर देन योर फिल्म. दैट्स व्हाट आई वांट टू डू विद मद्रास कैफे.
I have a question along with that.
जी.
If you're saying that this is an answer to West, kind of an answer to West, then are you planning a specific marketing strategy
Yes.
to promote?
Very
Madras
good question.
Cafe? Are you going
Yes.
global?
I think Madras Cafe is a film that's, if I may choose to, Madras Cafe is a film that I choose to release completely in the North American market and not just in the Indian diaspora there. I feel it's a film like Amaras Peros. I look at any of the international films that release in North America on a wide scale and Europe. So I will plan a release with Paramount, and I'll make it big because we are tied up with Studio 18, Viacom, which is a sister company, a parent company, if I'm right. So that's what we're planning to do with a film like Madras Cafe.
My last question to you.
Sure.
My last question to you is regarding Shootout at Budala. There's controversy there. I guess you're changing the name of Daud to something else, Sonu Sood's character, and your character is Manya Surve. So are we kind of completely drifting away from the fact that it's based on real incident and real names? What's the latest news on that?
I still believe the film's based on real incidents. I'm not going to change my stance on it. My character will stay as Manya Surve. That will never change, and I'm very proud of it. It's a studio decision to change other names, and I'm fine with that. I don't think it affects the structure of the film in any way. The film is too impactful for anything to affect it.
Sure.
You know.
Everyone's really looking forward to watching you in Shootout at Badala. Do you believe that it's your best performance today?
By light years.
Wow.
Yeah. It is a performance where John Abraham would be completely perceived differently as an actor. And I think people who've seen the rushes, and I'm sure Sanjay Gupta and Ekta Kapoor have shown the film to everyone, you know. And I don't know. I'm sure someone here must have seen some part of. You've seen some part of it. What do you feel about it?
It's really great.
Yeah. So I feel there's certain portions in the film, and my characterization in the film once it comes out there is going to impact the audience, the general audience, very differently.
You play a self-obsessed guy in I'm Your Man. So are you like that off screen as well?
I see. I've been a lot more like that in the past, and I'm hoping that I've changed. But I think so. I don't think men, first of all, ever mature, including Mr. Hira and me sitting here. So men really don't mature. I mean, I don't know at what age they really start changing. Because and at my age and when I was far younger, a lot of times in relationships and when you're growing up, and not necessarily with your girlfriend, but I'm saying even with your mother or anybody, men have a tendency of talking only about themselves, their work, and what they've achieved, and how much money they make. And it's men have a tendency of measuring their self-worth through the amount of money they make, if not through other means of measurements. But that's how we do it. So I guess this film really speaks about women who tell the man to wake up, smell the coffee, and say, listen, stop looking in the mirror, stop loving yourself, because there are other people out there, and you need to start loving others, because Ishan's all about the three most important people in his life. That's I, me, or me.
John, Chitrangada, I was interviewing Chitrangada the other day, and she said that it was very easy for you to get into this character because you personally relate to it.
Oh my God.
Comment.
Yeah, because I keep looking and I say, who's the best? Who's the best? you know?
Who's better boss, a man or a woman?
Oh, that's
There are a lot of more women here, by the way, right now. Huh? Be careful.
Men are better.
See, we've got an answer here.
Yes, Mr. Hira, you said.
Of course, men are better.
What's your view, John?
Well, I think I can't say whether a woman boss is better than a man, but in the film, I must tell you, I'm supposed to get promoted, and a woman gets promoted above me. And how the resistance that we show to the fact that a woman has got promoted over, and I have to report to a woman, it comes across very clearly in the film, because I keep pointing a finger, and she says, please don't point a finger at me. And I say, babe. And she says, listen, I can hold you for sexual assault if you call me babe, So I'm like, okay, So I think women are multitaskers. Men don't even stop and ask for directions. That's a problem in men. So that's one thing. But I would never say, I'm sure Mr. Narira is an awesome boss, which is why he's had this company for ages and years, and it's lovely. But I think it's specific to each profession and each one to his own. I have a all-girls team. I work only with girls. Because
So I can't be a part of your team.
You definitely not. You're definitely not a part of my team.
John, you've done a lot of commercial films as well as non-conventional films. So personally, what kind of films do you enjoy doing?
Good question, I'll tell you. One of the people I respect a lot, Aditya Chopra, he's someone who told me something very interesting. He's saying your most intelligent decisions have been your non-commercial films. He's saying your most intelligent decisions have been Water, No Smoking, Kabul Express, Ashaye, even Zinda to an extent. He's saying because you've told the audience that you'll always try something different. This is a means to an end. You want to reach here, you're reaching it this way. So whether your films don't even work commercially, you made a point that John Abraham means something different. And that's exactly what I've done with Vicky Donor. When my first production happened, I could have easily made a Candy Floss commercial film. But I decided when my studio called me up and said, John, aapke saath picture banani hai. On the phone I said, haan, main bana raha hu, sperm donation pe. There was silence at the other end. They didn't know what hit them. When I made the film, they realized what I was talking about. So I will always try something different. So if John Abraham does a Houseful 2 and a Race 2, he will do an I'm Your Man. If he does a Shootout at Vadala and he does a Dostana 2, and he'll do a Madras Cafe. So he'll always make that one different film because that's what he lives for. Every actor lives for the credibility of making good films, having a great filmography, and wanting to be known as an actor who impacted a certain audience or a certain society. And that's what I want to do.
So what sort of roles do you actually enjoy? The realistic kinds like Manya Surya or probably the Mr. Hot Bod glamorous kinds?
Manya Surya had a hot body, yeah? You see the trailer? I just like interesting scripts. So whether it's a real life story, I was just telling Mr. Hira, we were sitting up and talking, and I promise you, not because you've asked me this question, he didn't even ask me this. I said I really love true life stories.
Yeah, told him that upstairs.
Just told him that upstairs because I think fact is stranger than fiction, and that excites me the most. I'm sure our stories here, sometimes people wouldn't believe what we've gone through in real life or what we've heard, and they make for better stories than what we watch in films.
And
so, yeah.
Do you feel that stars suffer from the I, me or mess syndrome? If yes, then could you name someone?
It's, I mean, could I name everyone? Well, I think we're in the business of looking good. It's a visual medium. And I must tell you this again, at the risk of alienating myself. My staff is here, they'll tell you. I look in the mirror just once in the morning, which is a far departure from my film, and I don't after that. But the reason I don't is probably I may be suffering from the same syndrome because I may find 20,000 imperfections if I look in. So I kind of stay away from the mirror when you look in just once in the morning and you're over and done with. But yes, not only stars, each one of us here, especially men, not even women, men, they love looking in the mirror and just, men have this thing about them. I mean, we love that.
You still do that now?
No.
Something about
Dostana 2, I guess I'm not in a position to speak about it right now. Karan Johar is the best person to speak about that, and I'm sure he will make an announcement soon enough.
Okay, एक सिंपल बात प्लीज हिंदी में बोलिएगा मेरे चैनल के लिए.
जी आप पूछिए ना.
जब भी आपका पिक्चर आप देखते हैं तो आपको क्या लगता है कि ऐसा व्हाट इज सो स्पेशल अबाउट यू कि लोग आपको मेनली कवर पेज पे लेना चाहेंगे ना टू विद योर डिजिटल स्माइल.
जी मुझे खुद के बारे में कुछ स्पेशल नहीं लगता है. आई प्रॉमिस यू आई एम नॉट बीइंग हम्बल हियर. मैं हमेशा अपने आप को देखता हूँ और सोचता हूँ कि शायद ये जस्ट लाइक एनी नॉर्मल पर्सन शायद ये शॉट बेटर होता या शायद ये इसका लेआउट अच्छा होता. आई मस्ट कॉम्प्लीमेंट स्टार वीक ऑन दिस क्योंकि रेयरली ऐसे होता है कि आपको एक अच्छा कवर मिलता है. थैंक यू. आई थिंक दे आर ग्रेट कवर. आई रियली लाइक इट. आई लव द टाइटल ऑल्सो. इट रियली मीन्स अ लॉट बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट आई स्ट्राइव टू डू. लेकिन अपने आप को देख के मुझे अभी आई एम ऑन ऑटो पायलट. मुझे कुछ नहीं लगता. आई जस्ट सी माई सेल्फ. कोई फोटोग्राफ के लिए आता है मैं वैसे ही खड़े हो जाता हूँ. सो इट बिकम्स लाइक इट्स अ नॉर्मल वे ऑफ लाइफ. सो मैं कुछ अपने आप को डाइसेक्ट नहीं करता हूँ और वैसे इवैल्यूएट नहीं करता हूँ. कुछ नहीं करता.
But moving from her question only, talking about imperfections, what is that one thing which is imperfect in you which you say, damn, I need to work on this? One thing.
I think a lot about. I think my. Where do you want me to start? The I me or my way? Girls, boys, you all want to listen to the I me or my way? मेरा फैट काउंट जो है वो बहुत ऊपर गया है. मेरे मसल्स और एब्स थोड़े कम हो गए हैं. You know, I look at all the imperfections. I think we're all imperfect as human beings. बहुत सारे imperfections है क्योंकि जब हम आईने में देखते हैं, मिरर में देखते हैं, we find every little thing that's
But
not
one
right.
thing you feel is imperfect in you which you say, I need to work on.
There's nothing I can do about. There's not much you can do about a face being so imperfect. I mean, you know, when your face is not probably structurally the best face, then you live with it. You know, and you're fine with it.
But maybe some part in your personality.
Personality, yeah.
Oh, personality is a mess. Yeah, complete mess.
We're all feeling at home with that statement.
Yeah.
We know what you're going through.
Somebody there wants to ask a question?
I wanted to ask.
Yeah, go
Gee,
ahead.
yeah.
You have been criticized often for your acting skills. So, over a period of time, do you think you've changed and thought about?
I think criticism now, it's a long gone story. It's an old story. Some inane person must have said something. In today's date and age, I don't really care about it because when my audience comes back to me and starts saying that, listen, we love the way you performed.
We just go to look at you, yeah.
Yeah, today you have an audience that comes and says that, we loved your performance in this. Or, of course, the audience also likes and appreciates the way you look. But as far as the performances are concerned and acting is concerned, I think there was a stage in Hindi films where if you over-emoted, that was considered great acting. The subtlety in acting was never considered great acting. I probably came in at a time when there was a transitional period. So probably inane people around me must have felt that way. But today, I feel and I consider myself as someone who's far more well-versed in his field than a lot around, because I believe that I choose subjects that matter, and I choose subjects that are relatable, and I choose performances that complement my personality.
Okay, now you're a producer. Now you're a producer also.
Sorry, I was going to ask you.
Sorry, a decade in Bollywood, John Abraham, and you just moved from strength to strength. What is the one message, or what is the one thing you would want to tell aspiring actors and people who want to probably be in this field? And how do you see this?
See, first of all, your question is actually, it's a lovely question. It's very dangerously positioned, because I have not moved from strength to strength. What happens is every actor has a sinusoidal wave. So he'll have successes, he'll have a drop. He'll have successes. You can't write anyone off. So I'd look at myself as someone who's improving or who's learning with every process. But to answer your question, what do I tell every actor? The only actor I have kind of been closely associated with in the new space is Ayushmann. And he's a wonderful kid. And I only told Ayushmann one thing. Remember, Ayushmann, be a people's actor. And always keep your feet on the ground. Because you may have the best body, the best smile, the best face, the best everything, the best butt, whatever. But people will always know you from your values. So always be relatable and hold your audience's hand, because that's most important. The minute you distance yourself from them, there'll be an issue. And as actors, we actors love doing that. We love wearing our dark glasses, bodyguards and walking around. But I just feel something about us should connect and go back. Because John Abraham मतलब अपना है यार. जैन में था, उधर था, ये अपना ए रोड पे चला वो. That adds that this, and I love that. I love relating to my people. So y'all are my people in a way, in every way, in fact. I have also traveled by 8:57 local for a fast train to Churchgate. So I know everything. So people who've gone through my life will understand that John Abraham is one of us, and that's the beauty about. I was going to say being John Abraham. I don't want to say that.
You want me to say that? That's the beauty of being John Abraham. So I'm saying it out loud.
Last
Okay,
question,
okay.
please.
How different is the brand John Abraham from the person that you are?
I look at, they're two totally different entities. So when I'm sitting with my team, I work with Sam Balsara, who's Madison, and he's in a way someone I really looked up to and respected when I was working in advertising. So when we sit sometimes and we discuss brand John Abraham, I forget after a point that I'm talking about myself, because I treat that brand completely differently. So after Dostana, if brand John Abraham was offered XYZ underwear brands in this country, he'd say, no, brand John Abraham can't wear this, because brand John Abraham will be perceived in a certain way. So I keep myself aside. I position my brand in the mind of my audience very differently, the way I'd want to see brand John Abraham perceived. But there's a lot of my personal life that I put in that brand. Like I love motorcycles. So I'll always endorse a motorcycle brand or an oil brand or a tire brand, in that space. Or John Abraham loves football. So he'll always talk about football and push that in that space. And he'll also do that through his films, be it Dhoom, be it Goal. Films may work, may not work, it doesn't matter. But the audience has got it, and it's this, that John Abraham stands for football, John Abraham stands for fitness, John Abraham stands for motorcycling, John Abraham stands for, social causes, because he believes in those, and genuinely, because he's consistent across the board, and he'd like to be that way. So you treat that separately. That's one part of John Abraham. The other part is the hardcore brand, which is commercial, and that I treat. I can have a full talk on advertising about this, because this gentleman here is a doyen on advertising, so he can give lectures on this.
Okay, last question.
जाते जाते जॉन एब्राहम को बजट से क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं, हम सब वेट कर रहे हैं.
I can't. I don't know about the budget per se. लेकिन railway budget के बारे में इतना ही बता सकता हूँ कि there won't be any earth-shattering change in the railway budget right now. About the budget in itself, I really can't comment on it. अगर आप, I've completely read up on it, but I really wouldn't comment on it right now.
It won't be much. I don't think there'll be great.
There won't be any great changes.
Okay, last question. John, you've got Chitrangada and Prachi Desai in the film. Honestly, Who's the hotter of the two according to you? That's and one name. Don't say both are hot, both are great. One.
Why don't you ask the audience here?
Okay, come on, poll. How many votes for Chitrangada? How many votes for Prachi? Chitrangada.
One hand went up and beyond up also for
How many
Chitrangada.
for Chitrangada? How many for Prachi?
Hey,
And you for Chitrangada?
No, I just
both your hands.
I'll put both my hands on Chitrangada and Prachi. But
Kishan Kanaiya?
I feel Chitrangada comes across as a thinking man's fantasy in a lot more ways than one. She's very sensuous, but the way Prachi has turned it on in this film is amazing. It's a complete change to see. Bhai, aap log baat karo to main baat karu? I think Prachi's completely turned it on in this film. She's completely, I mean, changed her image in this film, and it's great to watch it. If you see the song Na Jaane, the one who was really turning on the heat was Prachi.
So you basically think Prachi is hotter than
No, I'm not. I'm not. You're telling something. You're speaking like a man only. You can only think like this or like this. Think sometimes like.
All right. Let's.
Will you be directing anytime soon? Now
Not soon, but yes, definitely I will. And I think, how do I put it? I think I'll do a fairly decent job at directing, because I feel I have a vision and I would like to get that across, and I think it will be interesting. I'm just wondering and thinking as to who I could direct first. So I'm just waiting and seeing. I haven't really. I mean, interesting person to direct. I would love to direct Shah Rukh. I mean, very interesting because there's a side and a facet about him that is very charismatic, and I would not like to play on his strengths, but I would like to get something out. Amir directs himself, so so that's interesting about Amir. But each one is different, and I think basically that. And probably if I'm doing a fun film, maybe an Akshay, just have fun. But I'm not thinking about it at this point of time, so it's hypothetical. I may direct complete newcomers, like Mr. Hira and I were again talking about it. If I'm producing and launching newcomers, I would like to direct with newcomers, because newcomers don't come with any baggage. You can mold them the way you want to, and I think that's the beauty about working with Ayushman or a Yami Gautam or these newcomers. And with our next film, which is we're launching Imtiaz Ali's brother, Sajid Ali, as a director. It's a film called Banana. We're again launching 3 newcomers, and they're going to be superb, absolutely outstanding newcomers.
And I'm playing a tree in his next directorial debut.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for John Abraham, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.